All right, everybody, welcome to the Studying Brew, episode 838. Oh my goodness, on this Monday, Kona Catchphrase. We're going to have a good one tonight. Tonight, we are, what are you doing? Like Kansas City Chiefs? What are you doing? It's so bad. All right, welcome everybody. Can't even unsupervise you. All right, we're going to have a good one tonight. We're going to have Monday, Kona Catchphrase. We're going to give you those keywords, those techniques that are going to help you out and pass those exams, giving you that edge that you need, that you require, because it's not just about the content. Because if it was, I'd just tell you to go memorize any old book and then just say, go take the test. But that's not the case. It's about how you read those techniques. So tonight, we're going to go over that, plus all our regular shenanigans. Oh my goodness, we had a great weekend. We met some folks from Oregon. It was great. Shout out to all the folks we met from Oregon, right? Antonio, Eric, Sally,
yes,
Jasmine,
Sylvia.
Yeah, it was a great night. And all the ones that couldn't be there, congratulations to Donica and Elijah.
Yes.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say everything I'm congratulating for them, but they've been on here. But I just want to say congratulations. I don't want to get in trouble, but congratulations. And also, it was a good weekend about talking about Kona and just getting everybody all fired up. We had a great week with the Kona Academy. First week, we did the recap. We put that out there this weekend. We had a few people that catch up. Shout out to Lauren, who's on right now, all the way out there in the central. And before we get started, I just want to say, stay warm. Oh my goodness, especially Midwest, all the way east. I think it's just what, Rockies, east of the Rockies, right?
I mean, we're pretty cold too.
Don't even. You will have people fly over here just to punch you.
Dude, I have been watching.
People will fly over here just to punch you.
Look, I've been following people like in like other places other than Southern California. Guys, blessings to you, because there is no way that I could ever.
It's like negative something, and Brandy's complaining about 60 degrees.
Not even, it's 50, thank you. I'm not even complaining. Like, I'm not even talking about the negatives. I'm talking about the teens. I'm talking about the 20s, the 30s.
Yeah.
Bless you guys. More power to you. Please stay warm. Please stay safe, because I could never, ever.
Yeah. Let's not talk about the weather and being cold over here. Brandy's literally outside with her sleeves on, short sleeves earlier. I'm just saying, we ain't got it cold.
Yes.
Everybody take care, be safe. I know there's a lot of lake effect snow. There's a lot of blizzards happening. There's all kinds of great stuff that's falling from the sky that doesn't involve California. I'm just going to say this. It's a great opportunity, I guess, to bundle up inside, take advantage of the Wi-Fi, and get your study on. When everything is shut down, that's when it's time to step up. Take advantage of, everything slowing down for a moment so you can speed up.
Yes.
I know it's crazy, but sometimes we need to slow down in the universe to get our bearings straight, and then we can get back on track. We had a lot of people pass these exams when we were doing this for COVID, and everything, the world was all shut down and everybody was staying at home because, you know what, they didn't have anything else to do but to either cry or do better. And a lot of people chose to do better. They were like, shoot, this is the time to learn a new language. This is the time to get my securities license. This is the time to lose weight. This is the time to get in shape. It is what it is. You make, I don't want to say make the best out of it. I don't want to say make lemonade out of lemons. We all heard this, right? But the truth is, there's a lot of truth into all of that. There's a lot of truth, it's just, decide who you want to be, the crier, or do you want to be, the person out there just doing it anyway. I did some quotes for Martin Luther King Jr. Day. If most of you forgot, it is Martin Luther King Jr. Day, and worth noting. Not only that I have a dream speech, but what a great writer, just a great inspiration, motivator. Very much a religious man. I don't know if a lot of you know that. Dr. King was definitely somebody who, you want to learn something about humanity, I would go read his some of the things he wrote. Not if you're not feeling the civil rights movement for whatever reason. He had great inspirational quotes, and just inspirational, and just on how to be a good person and a human and push forward. So I was reading some of the stuff, and I love and I put it in one of my quotes today, are for the recognition of Martin Luther King Jr. He was talking about he was just saying that, men, it's on men to be the believer. You have two things in life: to be a believer, and oh man, I don't want to mess it up. So talk amongst yourselves. Uh, hold on. Brandy's gonna carry the pork here.
Yes.
No, she's not.
No. Sorry.
She's not.
No. Because I knew
Says every man must do two things alone. He must do his own believing and his own dying. And if I knew that the tomorrow in this world would go to if I knew that tomorrow the world would go to pieces, I would still plant my apple tree. I'm just saying. That's it right there, right?
that is,
No matter what's going on in your world, no matter if it's falling to pieces, you'll go out and plant your apple tree anyway. That's it.
I love that.
Positive mental attitude, PMA, just everything we talk about all the time. So in recognition of Martin Luther King Jr., I thought I'd quote that out there. And by the way, my mom had dinner with Martin Luther King one day. If you want to hang out after the brew, I'll tell you that story. But all right, everybody, let's get this thing rolling. Let's go. Let's go, Brandy. Let's tell them all the things we got going on this week.
Oh, oops, wrong button.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. My turn to stare at you.
it's
All right, everyone. This is what we got going on. This is our link. If you want to join in on all the stuff we got going, the Academy, the 21-day plan. Brandy just dropped the 30-day for the 65. It's an awesome plan. If I don't say so myself.
it is
So
awesome.
if you're studying the Series 65, make sure you get the brand new Series 65 30-day. It just dropped. It's in the collections and underneath 65 and 66 course. It is a good one. And we got the ebooks. We got the SIE, the brand new SIE book. If you have this SIE book and it's brand new, if you're a member, it's awesome. It's got a nice little feature. As you're going through the study guide, you can actually click on, the thing that says videos, and it'll play an explanation video as you're going through it. So if you're looking at it and you're like, ooh, I don't know about that, you click on that video, and guess what? Boom, you got a video explaining it, a little 15, 20-minute, nice little short video, sums up that topic, helps you out. Plus, Brandy's got chock full of like tables and charts and helpful little connections inside there. So that SIE book is fire. Yeah. So guys, pick one up. Pick one up. It's awesome. It's our first update since 2019. We don't do updates unless they're necessary and they can give you guys an advantage. To be honest with you, I know there's a lot of study preps that do like every year they do an update, which is probably smarter business than what I do. Because I mean, you could charge every year for a new book and tell everybody it's new, and there's new stuff to be tested when you really know that there's not really. Um, but I don't do that. I hated it in college. I hated it when they did that with the new editions, and you're like, dude, how much could change from last month?
It's literally
Like I
page
literally,
page.
what was the difference between last semester and this semester that I have to pay another $300?
They added a the.
They added a new preface. Really? Is that going to help me pass an exam? Probably not, but you have to have the new edition if you want to be in the class. I'm like, oh,
Did anybody ever read those?
it's a scam. Anyways,
I mean, no, I didn't.
I digress.
I didn't mean the textbooks. I meant the preface.
Nah, I don't know. Not really. I only read things that were on the test, and then more the reason why you should get our study guide, because you know what? That's what's on there. For the 63, we got them too. Series 26, we got a great course notes. What?
I'd like to say that our study guides were meant for the person who doesn't like to read.
Ooh,
Let's face it, we're busy, right?
yeah.
And our study guides are meant for you. Got no time to read? Don't worry. Read our study guide.
Yeah, you got a lot to read. We might as well just go through something that just gets to the point. So check them out. We got the Kona community, the message board. We got all that stuff going on. It's not too late to join the academy. We still got We got 2 more weeks worth of content. We got a recap. They'll catch you up in about 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and you can get into that guided program. So scan the QR code, hit the links. 951-290-3077. That's where you can reach me at. Brandy, hit the next screen. Let's go. All right. SIE 663 tomorrow is content. So make sure that you get in there. Check your email box. I already sent it out. I'll probably send it out again in the morning. There is a new Zoom link tomorrow, a new one. We have a new one every week for the Academy. So make sure you look that email over and look for that new code for this week. New code. All right, you guys all heard me say it. So make sure you do that. 9:30 a.m. is when it starts. It ends at 1 p.m. Pacific. 9:30 a.m. Pacific Standard, and then let's just go to the next one. If you are not following us on Instagram, I wish you would. Gotta tell you what.
What?
Because when they give me a picture and they let me know, guess what, Brandy?
Yeah, what?
Add another one to the Kona Hall of Fame because we got passes. Yes, we do. We go to passes. It was awesome. It was a great day. It was pretty funny too because we were on a walk at the time, and I hear in my pocket, ring, 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 and I'm like, what's that? And then I answered the Kona phone like Batman, right? I was like, it was like Commissioner Gordon calling me, and I said, "What's up, man?" And he's all right. Any advice before I go into this exam? And I was like, "For you, Kenny, I'd do anything." So, anyways, he asked me a couple questions, and then he asked me a content question, and he didn't know that Brandy was next to me. So I'm like saying everything he says out loud, and then finally he's all, "Is Brandy next to you?" I'm all, "Why? Is it because I'm weirdly saying everything twice?"
He's all, let me get this straight. So,
But anyways, last minute advice. Got in there, listen, stay coachable. Just want to say congratulations to Kenny Smith. You are now fully licensed. Got that Series 63 in the books. Guess what?
what?
First attempt, 6 days of study. 6 days of study. Not even a full week. 6 days of study. Passed the Series 63, first attempt, knocked it out. That's the Kona way. Paid attention to all the Kona, all the stuff we have on the YouTube. Really love YouTube, all our videos on there. Really like the hard hitting Wednesdays, looked at all the topics, test taking techniques. He's just stayed with the Kona system and just paid attention to how we're doing it. Guys struggled on the SIE. He did what everybody else said to do. Read the book, score 90% on this test. And guess what? Failed it 3 times. Failed it 3 times. Waited 6 months, looked this up, listened to his coach, who said, you should just do Kona. And he was like, all right. Passed the SIE.
Yeah.
First time with us.
Mhm.
Turned around, passed the 6 in about 2.5 weeks. As soon as that window opened, took 6 days to pass the 63. Bam, bam, bam. Guys, that's what we're talking about. It's not just about the content, it's a system. It's a system. We're showing you how to read this stuff. We're not showing you just one content, boring, study session at a time. We're showing you a way to break down these questions and really look at these questions in a different way that can help you just get a pass notice.
Yes.
Does he know how everything works? I can tell you this by the questions he asked me before the exam. No, not at all. Not a clue. Does he know the connections in which they're related to get a pass notice? Yes. Guess who walked out with a pass notice with, high stepping out of there going, they can't take it away. Kenny did. Kenny did. And now he's fully licensed and he's already getting some business. And guess what, guys? It's already paying dividends.
Yes.
So go get yourself one, right? So how do we do it? Kona Catchphrase. We're going to talk about it right now. Kona Catchphrase. This is your time to shine, guys. Pay attention to how we do this stuff. Look, so we do the Studying Brew in a very purposeful, I know you guys think it's random, a purposeful way in which we structure these on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Monday, we talk about keywords. Tuesday, we're going to talk about test taking techniques. So we basically expand a little bit the technique universe. Wednesday, we teach you a little content. Thursday, we tie it all up. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all in one on Thursday for each different exam. Tonight, we are going to pay attention to those key words, and we're going to have you simply put what you think are keywords, patterns, things that look like they are helpful. I know there's sometimes we look on there and you're like, oh, 2 of those answers start with the word C, or it starts with an A, right? Or whatever. Guys, that is one of those ways you got to pay attention. Oh, it looks like B and C are opposite, but I'm not sure. Oh, that thing I remember from outside of securities, but I think it means the same thing. Yes, it does. It means the same thing. Guys, we want you to pay attention to all that. Put it in the chat, see how you line up, and then just go with it.
Yes.
Go with your gut. Go with it. So let's go. Let's go, Brandy.
All right.
Always answers first, by the way. Always look at answers first.
I had to put trust your gut on there.
Trust your gut.
All right.
All right, here we go. D, the demand that no second job can be secured. Right? C, written notification to the initial employer. B, ongoing updates of activities performed at the second job. A, written consent of the initial employer. I don't know why, but B and D seem dumb.
Hmm?
I don't know why. I don't know. I just said I don't know why to me.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm like, isn't that just a fact? No second job can be secured. I don't know. Why the demand, by the way?
There's so many things.
Yes, there is.
Whoa, 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 whoa. I see you guys.
Ongoing updates, activities performed at the second job.
Initial employer. Mhm.
I feel like A and C are the ones you pay attention to.
Yes.
And I feel like B and D not so much.
Yes, because the demand that no second job can be secured, um, that's pretty messed up.
I mean, why?
Like, why can we not have a second job? Like, this is just like, bro,
And why can't it be secured?
right? Like, that's just,
I don't know. That's why I said it's just like
it's just a weird statement.
it's wonky and weird, and I don't
It's
know
a-
why anybody would
Look,
say that.
guys, that Andy brings up a good point right now. Anytime that you guys note that a sentence or a statement doesn't sound like it doesn't flow well, it's probably not going to be an answer. The demand that no second job can be secured, that's just wonky. That's just weird. It's just doesn't flow
Like I
good.
said, it sounded dumb. She's like, why? I'm like, I don't know. It just doesn't sound right.
Right. And he's right. It doesn't sound right, right? Um,
Uh,
especially when you have A, B, and C saying it's cool.
right. And B, ongoing updates of activities performed at the second job. What? No. Like,
Yeah,
dude, no. I'm not gonna go into the job and tell you everything I did all day in my other job.
exactly.
No, fool.
Like okay, so we got it down to consent and to notification. Now I'm gonna say this: written consent of the initial employer or written notification to the
Well,
initial employer. What's
remember
not?
this is Kona Catchphrase, so we got to go to the question. They're already getting all the keywords here. Let's go on to the question.
Oh yeah, huh?
I know we're getting excited about
My
this.
bad. My
If a registered representative takes on a second job, FINRA rules require which of the following? Yeah, B and D are unreasonable.
require. Okay. Registered rep. Okay, okay. What about
I think the key words here,
should there you go.
yeah.
Boom. Okay, cool. So we got it, right? The registered rep,
Now it's
second
just
job, require.
now I feel it's like now we just need to figure out what seems reasonable. Consent or notification?
Can I say this is kind of like a chicken, what comes first, the chicken or the egg?
Do I notify you before I get my next job or do I need to ask permission
Oh,
or give permission?
I was looking at the fact that it says written consent. How could you get written consent if you didn't notify?
Mm,
Does that make sense? How can I get consent from something if I didn't ask? You
that's a
have to
good
ask
point.
first. It's not like the firm's gonna be all like, oh hey, go ahead and get a second job.
What? I wasn't looking for a second job.
Right.
Why are you telling me I have okay to get a second job? Am I really doing bad here? Do I need to get another? Do you know something I don't?
Right. So you have to give some sort of notification before you can get consent. Isn't that anything and everything?
Can you imagine you're on your break just eating your burrito and they're like, hey, you can get a second job? What?
But
What? What?
you're like, how'd you know I was even thinking about it?
Do I need to get a box?
You know what I'm saying, guys? Like in reality, we can't get a consent unless we've asked. And so
There you go.
logically, it just makes sense that C would be the correct.
By the way, 50% of those answers were taken off the board just by a simple fact they just sounded unreasonable,
Sound weird.
wonky, weird, however you want to put it.
Yeah. I love the risk questions, by the way.
Yeah, I love it when people put in the chat risk.
They are my favorite.
Inflationary risk, C, capital risk, B, currency risk, A, interest risk.
Right.
I feel like all of these have to do with inflation at some point or something or other. I don't know why.
Are you saying that inflation is a type of system risk?
I would say it'd be systematic.
Mhm.
What does everybody else see? Do you see any patterns? Do you anything all these answers are pointing towards? Does any of them, like when you see interest rate, what do we think of? We always say it all the time. We say it all the time. What do we relate interest to?
Right.
Debt,
Interest.
credit, debt, credit. Interest rate always relate to debt.
Okay. Currency, money.
Yeah.
But but
Power of money.
don't we also there you go.
There you go.
Because
Foreign.
usually currency risk isn't a factor unless we are talking about
Foreign.
some sort of foreign investing.
For instance, if you see in the question that says something about a foreign
Mhm.
entity,
Mhm.
I would automatically pick B.
Right. There you go.
That's a Kona catchphrase. That's the key words.
What about capital?
Capital. Money. Money, right? Do we have enough capital in the bank? Do we have enough money, right?
And then inflation. Do we know what inflation is?
Do we all know what inflation is?
A very hot topic.
10 years ago, $200 would fill your trunk full of groceries. Today, it's barely your front seat.
Right. All right. You guys ready?
Yeah.
I think we got enough. I think we got enough connection.
The chance that the value of assets or income will decline relative to the prices of other goods and services is considered an example of what type of risk?
So I want you guys to stretch yourself a little bit. You guys did put decline, which is a very great word, but what will decline?
What would decline?
Yeah.
Income, price? No.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Income and value, right?
Say income and value, yeah.
Value and income will decline. Okay. And then what's the next part in the question? Because I saw somebody put the goods and services.
Relative.
Okay.
It's not interest rate.
There we go.
It's not interest rate because we're not talking about debt.
Okay.
It's not currency because we're not talking about foreign entities.
Okay.
Now, are we talking about capital or are we talking about inflationary?
There you go. Why?
There you go. Wasn't a trick question. See, if you paused on that, that means you're thinking too much. If you paused and it very much says right there in the answer and you paused, you're thinking way too much.
Right. And I love how this question, by the way, it wasn't the purchasing, it didn't straight out say purchasing power and it didn't straight out say higher prices. It says value and income decline relative to prices. So that was like a backwards way of saying it. And it's not usually presented that way. But if you guys paid attention to the words in the question, it was an easy link.
I can't say this is on the exam because how would I know that? But that's how the exam is probably going to get you wording it like that. You got to be careful. It's saying exactly what it is.
It is saying. It is exactly saying what it needed to say. It's just presented backwards compared to what we're used to seeing. This would be indirect, like an indirectly asked question of the same stuff that we're used to seeing. It's a good question, huh?
Good. B, breakpoint selling. C, engaged in unauthorized use of this client's money. B, churning. A, selling away. Yeah, they're all bad. So we can all say that. Right? But now what do we know about bad, right? Churning, what are we doing? That's how I would do it. I would go through what do I know about these, right?
Exactly.
Churning,
Excessive.
turning over accounts to make commission,
Butter.
right? Like butter.
Butter.
Selling away. What do we know about that, right? We selling stuff that we offer, but from a different firm.
Selling not here.
Selling not here. Yeah. What do you like? Is it like the Santa Claus from Macy's on Miracle 34th Street where he's like, hey, you can go down to Gimbals and buy that train. They're like, what? You're at Macy's?
Look, that's a legit that's a legit example.
Sorry, youngsters, if you haven't seen that movie.
That's actually good.
Watch an old movie.
What is it?
On 34th Street.
34.
That whole Santa Claus thing and that whole movie, that whole plot of what he does and sells other shop stuff, that's selling away.
That is perfect. I like that.
You're welcome.
That's a great one. D is even.
No, you're basically saying, hey, we're gonna yeah, you're gonna yeah.
But in what's another use for the words breakpoint? Because we talk about breakpoints for breaking even, but we also talk about breakpoints for like quantity
Getting a discount.
discounts, right?
Yeah. You ever been to like the local AM PM? I guess if you're East Coast Wawa, what do you got? Like, I don't know what they got in the Midwest, but if you ever been to any of those 7-Eleven, right? You go pick up a Monster, take it up to the counter, and they're like, now, if you buy 3 more of those, I'll give you a 3 for 5. Right? So now you're buying 3 Monsters because now you get it for $5.
Exactly.
That's kind of like breakpoint selling.
So I wanted to stretch your thinking just a little bit. Stretch. Okay. Stretch your thinking.
If a registered representative is involved in a trade or collects a commission that did not go through his broker dealer, he is. No, what are the keywords? Not through broker dealer. Yes. Did not go through. Trade.
Okay, so then what does that match in our question? Our answers. That's right.
Selling away.
Right? Not here, not his broker dealer, right?
He's that Macy's Santa Claus selling for stuff for gimbals.
It's cheaper at Gimbal.
What?
Did you guys see that though? Did you guys see what we just did there? That was awesome.
There you go. You're welcome. I'll let you use it. The read by the options investors within 30 days of their account being opened. C, given to clients at or before their options account is opened. B, given to clients at or before their first option trade is executed. A, read by the option investors before the options account is open. This is a perfect Kona catchphrase type question because you look at these answers, they can make you dizzy. And I know the question is probably just as dizzying.
Yes. And this is also I'm gonna give you guys a little hint. Normally on a Tuesday, test taking technique Tuesday, we would pick the 30 and walk away.
Yes, we would, because it has a number.
But this is Kona catchphrase.
Right.
Where we're trying to pay attention to the numbers. I mean, we're trying to pay attention to the words.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All are before expired D except D. Sorry. D is an except. She's saying expire. So is it like an after? Yeah.
After?
It's talking about after.
Oh, because it's within.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about expire though.
No, I don't. I think she was more saying after. Yeah, it's different.
Oh, no problem. No problem. A and D is red. Okay, but do you guys see what I underlined? Look at everything that's underlined. Isn't B or C the most like similar or opposite of each other?
When you have similars or opposites, it usually, I'm not saying all the time, or usually it's one of those two.
See, my first take on this answer choice, guy, or on these answer choices was that B and C is probably, I mean, there's pretty much a lot of similar words between both. And then D has the number. So I'm looking at, okay, number, I'm going to see something, but the fact that B and C have so many words that are similar to each other, I'm going with probably the answers B or C. And somebody in the chat, Eric, just put options disclosure. Now, if I was getting to a disclosure, probably of some sort of risks, when would I want a disclosure about risks?
Probably when I opened it.
When you opened the what?
Before the options account is open. I want to know if there's any risks involved, I guess.
Okay. Now, you just brought me to another opposite here. Before the account is open, at or before the account is open. So now we have a double dip.
We have two opposites. So now we have one answer that is connected to two answers in an opposite way. Usually when we see that, that C answer is the right one because it is double dip. The characteristics and risks of standardized options disclosure document must be
Now, wouldn't we hope that our clients actually read all the documentation that they are given?
before.
Can we control that?
No.
But we can control when we give it to them. Or
Didn't we open up the didn't we open up the Studying Brew tonight saying our study guide's amazing because people don't like to read?
we d- we we do sell study guides based on people who don't like to read. All right. So then this we oops, I don't want to write must. This we can control. The read part we can't control. So if it's a must situation, would you leave a must situation in the hands of somebody else? In anything. I'm not talking about options disclosures. I'm talking about in anything. If
No.
somebody must do something, are you gonna leave that in the control of somebody else?
No.
There you go.
Not if it depends on these licenses. It took me a while to get.
So that's a really good hint when you guys are looking at words. If it's something that must be done, you got to look at who's able to control that. We can never control what our clients do.
No.
So if you if you were leaving a must in the hands of a client,
That's why we have so many rules in this business to protect. I don't want to sound like this, but to protect the ignorant
it's to protect the clients against them. It's protect the clients. Um,
against themselves.
yeah, okay,
The
I was
ignorant.
saying it right
Yeah.
because it's not their job.
We cannot rely on them or knowing what is best for them because they're ignorant to all these rules and how everything is and all these regulations and all this stuff is. You know, they're basically left in the dark. They don't know all this stuff.
No,
So we have to be very diligent on making sure they get all the information and they can make their own decisions. Whatever that comes out to, hey, at least I gave them all the information and what risks were involved.
it's up to them to read it.
I don't know if they can read it or not, but whatever. Not my problem.
Yeah.
I was kidding.
All right. I go ahead. It's the last question.
All right, D has the option to buy the underlying security. C has the obligation to provide the underlying security at a predetermined price. B has the option to sell the underlying security. A has the obligation to buy the underlying security at the strike price. A lot of underlying.
Yes.
Obligations. Yes.
Hmm. If you
What about buy, sell, and provide?
if y- if you were trying to define something in a very textbook fashion,
It would be C, and I would mark that as different, and I would move on. That's what I would do. An investor who sells a call.
isn't that the most textbook definition you have ever seen? Has the obligation to provide the underlying security at a predetermined price.
Yeah,
I read that and I went, that's textbook language. Boom. That's the answer.
it sounds like law. It sounds like legal. It sounds very much like cover my booty.
Yes. Doesn't it very sound like proper? There you go. Proper, very contracty.
Yes.
There you go.
And that's what sometimes you just got to look at. As some answers, as we saw, look wonky and weird. This one looks, wow, that sounds like it was written by a lawyer. Why? Because there's laws and regulations to this type of stuff.
Because it probably more.
And it probably was. And especially if I'm studying the series 63 or the series 26, like my homegirl Sylvia, I would start getting my mind wrapped around that kind of language.
Yes, that proper defining language. It had nothing to do with the actual definition. It had everything to do with that just sounded like a proper legal definition. Lawyer language.
And that's what we're talking about, folks. That's what we're talking about. Paying attention to the key words, just slowing down, looking at those answers. Look, some of y'all have been on this planet for, a decent amount of time, right? Don't forget all that stuff that you've learned, right? Some of it's just common sense. Like you can see things. You can see that some of this stuff is weird and some of this stuff sounds like legal, right? Some of this don't make sense. Some of this applies to other things. It's not securities. Don't lose that edge.
No.
Apply it. Apply it and go with it. Don't go against your gut on some of this stuff. And it's not always the content that gets you there. A lot of times you guys all second guess because you're also caught up in what the definition of it is. And you're trying to remember that graph that you read on page 284 in some LEM. Look, that can be daunting and overwhelming.
Exhausting.
And why and what for? We all here just to get a pass notice. You just need to pick the right one and move on.
Yeah.
Move on up like George and Wheezy. You know what I mean? And that's it.
Yep.
Just move on up. So as we get into this week, we got Kona Academy going on, right?
Mhm.
Tomorrow, content, be ready. You guys all got that going on. We got the Studying Brew. Test taking techniques Tuesday happening tomorrow. So if you love the Kona Catchphrase, guess what? We're going to take the pressure off you. Brandy's going to show you like how to get answers without even knowing anything.
And I already have a bunch of questions.
Or very minimal content, even less. So easy. Children can learn this. Guys, we do teach our kids this stuff. Yeah. They get in trouble for cheating all the time. But then they get call us in. They're like, well, how else would they know these answers? We're all test taking techniques, fool. I got all these YouTube videos.
Can you teach our kids that?
Yeah, I would gladly.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. And as always, stay safe out there. Keep that stay safe out there. Don't touch your face. Don't touch your friend's face. That's all I know. Keep that positive mental attitude. PMA, everybody. Have a great night. Take care.
Thank you guys so much for being on. We super appreciate you guys. Don't forget to practice the Kona catchphrase in your next quizzes. Please stay warm out there or cool if you're in Hawaii. We will see you guys tomorrow. Have a great one. Just says it's a cool 69 right now.
Oh, nice. All right, everybody. Have a good night.
Night, guys.